Na orasa and hello again. Malis and I salute you. Today's lesson is a light and easy lesson, where we'll talk about proper names. For this topic, we need to introduce two new symbols, which are called the re symbols, or name symbols. Quite like brackets or parentheses, they are put around Ælis words to mark the fact that the word is a proper name of something. This informs the reader that the word is not an Ælis word, and as such, that no meaning should be found in the word. Let's look at an example. It should not be any mystery to you anymore that the root word an on the left means space or place. The word on the right is the same word an, but enclosed in re symbols. It does not mean space or place, but it is the Ælis transcription of the female given name Anne. The distinction between the two is very important. Look at the following two sentences. Both of them read Haem naora ha'an. However, the top sentence does not contain re symbols, and the second one does. As a consequence, the top sentence means the place is beautiful, or it is a beautiful place, but the bottom sentence means Anne is beautiful. Especially in spoken discourse, the appearance of the re symbols may be literally pronounced by prefixing the root word re to the name. Haem naora hare an. Anne is beautiful. The root word re, as has once been briefly mentioned, also means name, such as in the sentence Ya aima hare bins. My name is Bins. Now, pay attention to the word bins. You can see that the first letter is written in the primary case and the other letters are written in the secondary case. That brings us to our following topic. Given names are considered to be inseparable in Ælis, which is why all letters, except for the first, will have to be written in the secondary case. Here are a few examples. Himalaya, Esperanto, John Smith. The latter example are actually two names, John and Smith. This is also reflected in the fact that Ælis uses a primary case letter for each of these. We should also consider another thing, and that is that names are always transcribed in Ælis. Inevitably, this leads to minor or sometimes noticeable spelling changes. The word Himalaya is transcribed with an I instead of a Y, because Ælis does not have an equivalent for Y. The word Esperanto can stay the way it is. The name John Smith is a bit trickier. Firstly, the letter J in John should be transcribed as DZZ according to Ælis' transcription rules, and secondly, the sound of the English TH, th, has no equivalent at all. Therefore, the closest equivalent is chosen, which in this case would be the letter F. Therefore, the name in Ælis is also appropriately pronounced as John Smith. The transcription rules are strictly based on the sound of a name, and not on the way it is written in the source language. This has another consequence we must consider. Look at the name on screen. If English is your native language, then you're most certainly inclined to pronounce it as Michael. If we transcribe this to Ælis, we would pronounce it as Michael, and accordingly, the name Michael in Ælis is written like this. Now, if we read this name as a German name, then we would pronounce it as Michael. Transcribed, we would get Michael, and therefore the name is transcribed like this. So even though we're talking about the same name, it still renders two different names in Ælis. Therefore, you should always keep in mind that the pronunciation is the defining factor in Ælis and not the original spelling. A final remark I would like to make before we leave this video for what it is. It is about male names and female names. Across languages and cultures, it is often difficult to know whether a given name is a male name or a female name, especially as there are also unisex names, such as, for instance, Alex. To help reduce ambiguity in this area, it is very common to prefix a gender particle to the name. In this case, we would get ma Alex or mare Alex if we're speaking about a guy named Alex, and ni Alex or nire Alex if we are talking about Alex as a girl's name. This principle is actually more than just avoiding ambiguity, it is even a form of politeness. This can even be taken a step further by prefixing an entire personal pronoun. If your name is Alex, it is likely I would address you as emare Alex or enire Alex. This is a very polite and common utterance. And with that info, you should know everything there is to know about giving names in Ælis. As always, stay tuned for a lot of interesting things to come. I hope you enjoyed watching. Bye!